Hello everyone, my name is SuperSweet, and in this video I'll be showing you my honey farm that I built using the crate mod. I made a quick intro to showcase the building process and what it looks like finished. After it's done, I'll come back and explain how everything works. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed the intro. It's a bit different from what I usually do in my videos, so please do let me know in the comments below if it's something I should try to do more often. Now, as promised, I'm going to do a tour of the honey farm and explain the different areas and how everything works. So let's begin on the outside. This area is still kind of unfinished. I'm going to tie it into everything else that's going to be built in this area. But for the farm itself, I put a little lake out here of honey. Then I put up some trees. One has a little bee's nest like that. One has this glowstone, which I thought was nice. Next, let's take a look at the front of the building. Here I made a little honey waterfall. And one really nice thing about honey is you can hide glowstone underneath it, and it will actually shine through the honey, and it makes the honey kind of glow a little bit. And I really like this effect actually. Now if we keep moving down here, I made a little glass box for a tree and some flowers. But I just ended up having this green plot here and decided it would look nice. I also added some honey that flows down the hill here. So it goes up here in the back and then flows down. And this shaft here comes from our steam power plant and powers the entire honey farm, in addition to our main base. Now let's head inside. Here on the right, I put some barrels from the chip mod. So we have some gold barrels that kind of look like honey, and then some fruit barrels because I thought that was fitting. I also put a worker bee right here. This worker bee makes sure that all the visitors are taken care of. I also added some broken glowstones from the chip mod, hanging from chains up from the rock to kind of help light up the area a little bit. You'll also see that I've added a bunch of flowers and trees everywhere. I've also tried to add some neat little honey waterfalls that go everywhere to kind of make the area look a little bit interesting. I also used the sala leaves on the trees here as I thought it'd be nice. By the way, fun fact, something I learned is you can actually feed the flowering azalea to bees and it will work just like flowers. Yeah, so a couple trees here, another honey waterfall to tie everything in a little bit. I just love the way honey looks as it's flowing. We can go downstairs later. Let's head upstairs first. So here I added a floating island, and it's the only island that's actually free floating. As you can see, these other islands are kind of on the corner or on the side of the wall like this. This island actually hangs with chains from the ceiling, and I thought that would be kind of interesting. Then up here we have another corner island. So we have some flowers and a bee's nest here, and then this is where the honey actually flows out on the front. And this bee's nest here is actually where honey is being picked up and put into our infinite lava pool. Or well, it was what was used before our lava pool was infinite. Here on this side we have a little mountain or a hill and a little island with another tree, some honey flowing. And on this side I just kind of went a little bit crazy with the honeycomb and broken glowstone. So I figured this might be what the inside of a bee's nest might look like a little bit. And here in the back is actually where the shears are being used to extract the honeycomb from these bee's nests here. And we can actually hop over to my creative world to show you what that looks like. So what we have is a bunch of deployers with shears that are dropping the honeycomb into chutes below that then drop that onto the belt. And just to show the other side, this is where the honey is being pumped. So I'm just removing the walls here in my creative world. And as you can see, we have this huge bee's nest up here. And the honey is being piped through that pipe there by these cogs here that are turning mechanical pumps. And it's going all the way down here to this hose pulley, which we can lower. If we stand here and hold shift, we can lower it. And that is what we use to fill our infinite pool of honey. Now let's jump back to our survival world again. Another thing I decided to do was to put this huge box here It does not really have a purpose. I thought it looked kind of cool, and I like the flowing honey from the middle. It's also a nice place to kind of hang some glowstones from. Now we're on our way downstairs, and we're going to take a look at our infinite honey pool and also the trains that are down there, as well as all the little things on the way down. So here we have another island with honey that's flowing down from an upper island. This is kind of a long island that flows all the way down like that. And we have some vines that come down as well from the floating island. I also put a little bit more glowberries down here. And we also have another honey fall, I should say, that comes down here, and another one here in the middle, and that goes down into our infinite pool of honey that's down here. And this takes forever to fill up, by the way. We have some small details over here, and we also have the door where the trains come in, and this door is controlled by a rope pulley that sits up there, and it just pulls this entire door up whenever a train arrives and goes over the train observer over there. It was a little bit hard to fit everything nicely in here, but I think overall the area looks pretty nice. So here we have the maintenance shack on the right, and right here where we are now is the train station. And if we look over here, we have 2 doors, one for each train, and they're just moved using mechanical bearings. They'll open outwards whenever a train goes out of here. Same thing on this side. It's something I plan on fixing later, as it's not a perfect setup, especially since I had to put the train observer right there. It's a little bit close to the door. But this is kind of temporary, so eventually I will fix that. Now, going back here, we have some portable storage interfaces and portable fluid interfaces in the ceiling. And that's for picking up honey right there. And on the left here is for picking up honeycomb. And these will automatically activate when a train is at the station. And there's some belts and pipes up above, which is doing all the logistics here. If we hop back into my creative world, this is something we can visualize by removing the topsoil here. Now there is one unfortunate thing I have to mention about the host pulley here, which pulls from our infinite pool of honey. See, the issue is that it doesn't actually work with the default settings. And I kind of learned this the hard way. I figured this out once I'd built my entire honey farm, filled my pool, and things weren't working. That's when I figured it out. So you have this bottomless fluid mode up here that's allowed by tag by default. And we also have this fill infinite setting. So I like to have fill infinite on as it allows me to overfill an infinite pool. But I didn't know about the bottomless fluid mode setting. In Create 0.4, this was changed to only allow lava and water by default. And you can actually change the setting to allow any fluid. And that's what I've done to make my honey farm work. I really wish I knew about this before I started working on my honey farm, because it means that I might have done things differently to maybe just produce enough honey to oversupply any trains that are coming to pick it up. So I just wanted to be clear about that in case this is something you want to try on your own. I also do want to mention that I got this idea, like the inspiration to try this, from Setup, as he was trying like different pools with different items such as milk and thatch. And I'll link his video in the description below. Now, if we head into our maintenance room, you can actually see a display board here with how much honeycomb we gathered. And let's just check in this item vault that's right here. That's where all the honeycomb goes, and it's just received from this belt here that comes from inside the wall, basically. Now, fitting all this stuff into this tight space here was a little bit tough, but as you can see, all the items will go up this belt here. We also have some fluid pipes that carries the honey, and then we have some redstone logic here, which controls the funnel so that items are only output when a train is actually here. And I think we're done with the tour. We have covered pretty much everything that has to do with this honey farm. I'm really happy with the way it looks, and I look forward to trying some more design projects in the future with different farms. There's actually been some pretty interesting suggestions over on my Discord. Make sure to check out my video description for all of my links, which will include an invite to the Discord if you'd like to join. I have also included a schematic of this honey farm in case you want to import it into your own Minecraft world, either in creative mode or using a schematic cannon. This will allow you to take a look at everything I've done and how it all works. Please note, however, that it may be a bit laggy and that you may have to tweak the schematic limits for this to work. This is because it is a pretty large structure. Now, this was built on the SMP server that I play on. And in addition to the honey farm, I've also set up a chocolate factory, as you can see here, And I've also set up a milk farm which uses deployers with buckets to automatically milk the cows. And this finalizes all the liquids that we need for a collaborative project that we're working on. I'm taking care of most of the logistics and logic, and Big Swede is taking care of most of the design. And we may have a few other people helping out here and there. So in a future episode, I hope to show off my cake factory here, which should produce honey and chocolate cake in addition to both sweet rolls and regular cake. But as you can see, it's currently a work in progress. But with the honey farm now done, the pieces are starting to fall into place. That's going to be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.